So Tesla stock today closing up more than 12%. You don't see that every day, although extreme volatility is par for the course with Tesla stock. Another one of the many reasons why I continue to buy when I have money, as opposed to thinking my brain's big enough to know when I should buy by trying to time the market. I posted this on X yesterday. What we're looking at is how much I paid for Tesla stock each time I purchased Tesla stock since early 2016 up until the present moment. Now, to be clear, there are 157 individual transactions plotted on this chart. These are purchases. They're not evenly distributed over time. They're literally just new purchase equals a new point on the chart. This is what 8+ years of buying consistently looks like. 8+ years of not trying to time the market. 8+ years of looking into the distant future, looking at Tesla today and thinking, is there a decent enough gap when I factor in risks from where we are today to where I believe we're likely to be in the future? Yes, well, I'll just buy. So before we watch some of the coverage in the finance media relating to Tesla's earnings, I just want to point something out that's kind of obvious, but often not thought about, not considered, or completely overlooked. What happened yesterday, other than Tesla stock surging more than 12%? Well, they reported their Q1 earnings, facts about their business that pertain to January, February, and March, not to late April, but to the first 3 months of this year. And they also told us some things that they intend on doing. But spoiler alert, they didn't just decide that yesterday. Yet, now that investors have certain information, suddenly, without anything actually changing at Tesla, but more clarity being provided, suddenly there's a surge in buying activity on Tesla stock. Almost twice as much trading volume on Tesla yesterday than the long-term average. Clearly a lot more buying pressure than selling, hence the stonk up over 12%. Now, the reason that I'm pointing this out is just to illustrate the fact that out of nowhere, when the stock market either learns something new, realizes something, discovers something, confirms something, disproves something, suddenly, without anything actually changing at the business, I mean, Tesla didn't literally wake up yesterday and go, oh, hey guys, you know what, just before this earnings call, we've got a meeting, all hands on deck. Okay, so I've got this idea. Let's have some new products before the next gen vehicle that implement some of the cost savings. Right? We're all going to decide that right now, just before the earnings call. Great, look, cool. Now let's tell the world. Obviously, this has been brewing at Tesla for more than 1 millisecond, but the stonk market didn't know that. And now that the stonk market does know that, suddenly a lot of buying. Now, I'm sure I had a point. I don't know, maybe it had something to do with autonomy and robo-taxis and printing money and the stock market not having figured that out yet. But yeah, I forget what my point was. So let's move on. Nothing to see here.
Off their highs, but they're still up just about double digits despite misses on the top and the bottom line. But you say their actual earnings number, believe it or not, they're just background noise. It's not really that all important. So,
well, shit. Here's Tom again coming in with the facts. Being quoted. Words to the effect of, these earnings numbers don't fucking matter in the scheme of things. It's background noise. I've got a funny feeling, I haven't watched this clip, but Tom is the guy who was the first that I'm aware of on Wall Street to start modeling Tesla licensing FSD. He was a few years late to the party relative to my own valuation model. Shout out to that being available on Patreon to everyone at the investor level and above. Check the link in the pinned comment. Oh, by the way, actually on that, huge update to my Tesla valuation model yesterday. And I mean massive. The 2033 fair valuation for Tesla, the weighted average fair valuation, has increased by 69%. However, in fairness, this was a change that I said would be coming. I flagged it well ahead of time, so anyone who took the time to model out the implications of that would have known the impact this would have. It's not based on anything material on the earnings call at all. Timing is coincidental, but I thought, you know what, it's time to fix this, to add this, to change this. After the recent FSD price cut, I had to make some adjustments there. I thought, well, while I'm doing that, I'll wait for the earnings call in case something massive happens. It didn't. Then post the update. Now, in the next few years, it doesn't make a fucking difference, at least barely. But these changes have an enormous effect on the tail end of this decade and into next decade. And just imagine what the 10 years after that looks like. Of course, you shouldn't look at my Tesla valuation model and assume that's going to happen because A, there's a bunch of different probabilistically weighted scenarios, and B, you should all build your own valuation model, probabilistically weighted in a bunch of different scenarios. Think about the probability and do the numbers yourself. I know it's a lot of work, but that's how to build conviction in your investment. So that was a very long detour, but it was important to get that out there because Tom is now starting to think a little bit like somebody who isn't fixated on yesterday and tomorrow and next quarter, but is in fact focused on the long term and recognizing long-term potential that, generally speaking, his peers, Wall Street analysts, are ignoring or are dismissing. which is equivalent. So when you hear comments that Tom has suggested that the near-term earnings, it's all noise, probably a good sign that this guy is thinking long-term and may in fact have his eyes on the prize, e.g. autonomy, potentially the humanoid robot, as opposed to getting lost over the extremely short term and missing the forest for the trees.
I want to ask you, is the Model 2, is that really a game changer? Is that what's pushing this stock higher this morning?
100%. People like me who are bullish on the stock can finally take their paper bags off their heads. But yeah, basically all the expectations coming into the quarter, there were some news articles that came out of Reuters saying that they were going to shelve this Model 2 and the fear.
Fake news, by the way, which was immediately debunked by Elon Musk. Here's an interesting tell, by the way. If you see any folks who were waiting until this call and go, well, it's good that Tesla's now confirmed that it isn't cancelled. These people are, at least if they're attempting to be well informed on Tesla, dumb motherfuckers, because they didn't trust Elon himself, the literal guy running the company, immediately debunking this fake news. I mean, think about this for a moment. If you haven't understood at this point in time that Musk is honest to a fault, and if he says something in the media is not true pertaining to Tesla, that's because it's not true. If you're unwilling or unable to realize that this guy's telling the truth, you have some kind of mental disability. I don't mean that lightly, by the way. If something's broken in your brain to not be able to assess the guy's character and realize. I mean, this is the same guy, Musk, who in the past literally said that Tesla's stock price was too high. Okay? If you can't put two and two together and go, oh shit, when this guy says something, he's telling the truth, you have some kind of impairment affecting your judgment, which could be extremely dangerous. Back to Tom.
Fear there is you would have years without any growth, right? Because the Model 3 and the Model Y have slowed significantly. So not only is the Model 2 happening, but it's going to actually be accelerated by making the cars on existing facilities instead of new facilities to be built. So yeah, so a lot of those fears that came into the print that people were so worried have completely evaporated. If anything, now folks are looking at an accelerated pace.
So Tom, I want to ask you, because the way you phrased it is that the fact that in your mind, building the Model 2 on an existing platform, that's a good thing. I've heard other people say, well, that's just not really a good thing because it's not creating a unique vehicle, but you're okay with that. Just very quickly, that's fine in your mind?
Now, before Tom answers, I'm just going to share my thoughts here, okay? The purpose of this is to meaningfully reduce the cost of compelling electric vehicles for consumers as an interim step before Tesla massively reduces the cost of a compelling vehicle with a next generation platform. I mean, hello, Economics 101. If you meaningfully reduce the cost, the price for consumers to purchase a compelling product, and they can afford that compelling product that's now meaningfully more affordable, hello, what do we think is going to happen?
Yeah, I think so. Because for me, that car was never going to be about its own profitability. A lot of other folks had that. For me, it's about selling autonomy. We just need more Teslas on the road so they can sell FSD.
Okay. I mean, you don't have full conviction on that one, but you're like, it's okay. Just in all fairness, I've heard a number of European auto executives say that to be competitive with Chinese autos, they just need to strip out all the bells and whistles out of their European EVs, then they'd be popular. So it sounds like Elon Musk might be taking a page out of their book. I want to go to your earlier comment. You are a Tesla bull. So your price target for Tesla, $294. It implies a more than 75% upside. So you are very bullish, much more bullish than the street average of 189. So give me a sense. When it comes to the Model 2, when it comes to the robotaxi, when it comes to Optimus, the energy story business, rough percentages, just rough sense. How are you factoring each one of those into your price target? What's the most important thing?
Yeah, so I actually haven't changed all that much. It's 60% is robotaxi. It has been for about a year now. FSD is about 20%. Megapacks is about 10%. And then less than 10% is actually the cars.
So wait, the Model 2 is a game changer, but it's less than 10% of your thesis for a 294 price target?
No, because the car itself is...
This is quite amusing because I can see where Tom's going with this. He's going to say words to the effect of, the car isn't the thing that's making the money and meaningfully moving the needle. It's the vehicle that can run the software that's going to print money as a robotaxi. Those vehicles are going to be future money printers via autonomy. That's his point. Vehicles on roads that can enable autonomy. But of course, the folks in the finance media, many analysts see Tesla and they go, car company. Okay, everything's through the car company lens. What we really should be thinking about is Tesla's global fleet. Vehicles in fleet times how much they're paying per month for the software to operate as a robotaxi, plus of those vehicles, how many in the future are operating as robotaxis, what are they charging per mile, and what is Tesla's cut of that?
It's not a game changer, but the fact that it can sell FSD, that makes it a game changer, which then translates into level 4 robotaxis down the future because now the software is proven.
It's increasing the capacity. Okay, I understand there. I want to get to robotaxi. So our Phil LeBeau, he's been very vocal about full self-driving being many years away. Other analysts have been on our air since Tesla reported, even before Tesla reported, saying we're years away from that. Some people even putting out a decade away from that. So in your mind, when is it realistic to see these Tesla robotaxis on the road? And will they be full self-driving, or will they drive, just to kind of simplify it, in a loop that it's considerably easier to have an autonomous vehicle go on a loop or a track? And that's why we see those functions more for industrial and supply chain.
Yeah, so I want to differentiate FSD from robotaxi. FSD is just a level 2 plus, which is an amazing product on the road that where you're driving the car and it assists you. Robotaxi, I do believe, will be 100% level 4. It is a far away from now, no doubt about it. Could be a decade away.
And in today's episode of comments that probably won't age well, I think Tom might be off the mark. Now, look, I admit I do have an optimism bias, and it's impossible to know when this happens until it happens. But I think the odds of full autonomy from Tesla being a decade away would be fractions of a single percent. But hey, what would I know? I'm just some dickhead on the internet.
These will have to re-engineer themselves to allow for them to happen. But make no mistake, they are happening. The reason for my bullishness isn't that it's going to happen right around the corner, but that it's going to happen way down the road. But it's such a big transformational event that you discount back the revenue stream and the multiple on that because it's a software business, and you get tremendous value from this product.
So timing-wise, Tom and I may not be on the same page, but his point is valid in terms of the astronomical revenue and profit potential. Now, given the fact that Tom is modelling out into the distant future and discounting back to today, if he's off the mark in terms of when full autonomy happens, and it's sooner than he expects, that would no doubt have a massive increase on his present Tesla price target. And I do mean massive. He's already close to $300 a share.
You know, just for the audience, Tom, very quickly, you said level 4, not level 5. Level 5 is the highest level. That means the vehicle just really drives on its own. So just very quickly, when you say level 4, what does that mean for a practical sense?
I think level 5 is like science fiction. Don't even, just get that out of your mind. Car is not going to just take you to wherever. I mean, level 4 just means it's driving you, but it's on a road, or it's in a dedicated path, or it's somewhat geofenced to some extent. It's in a dedicated.
Isn't it wild when some of the more bullish analysts on Tesla talking about autonomy still doubt the idea that there'll be full end-to-end trips in autonomous vehicles anytime, basically ever? I mean, he talked about it being science fiction. I'm not exactly sure if Tom's seen any of the end-to-end intervention-free trips happening, especially around San Francisco in FSD 12.3. Should we tell him? Tesla and Elon Musk fans have an optimistic outlook for the company, according to the title of this video, which, I mean, it's true.
Analyst John Murphy raised his rating to a buy from neutral. Price target 220 implies a more than 50% upside from yesterday's close. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas also relatively bullish with an overweight rating. Still other analysts not ready to ride with Tesla. Bernstein's Tony Sacconaghi reiterated his underperform rating and remains skeptical about the company's shift toward autonomy and robotaxi. And the analyst at UBS, remaining on the sidelines, reiterating his neutral rating, lowered his price target on Tesla, saying Tesla took the ultimate bear case off the table as there is a new lower-cost product coming. Joining us now to talk about Tesla and Musk, CNBC contributor Tim Higgins, reporter with the Wall Street Journal, the man who literally wrote the book on Musk and Tesla. It is called Power Play. Welcome, Tim. How do you see, I mean, it seems like Musk sort of steadied the ship a little bit in his conference call. Do you agree?
Yeah, it was a classic performance by Elon Musk. Showed up to play, if you will.
Now, look, I'm calling BS on these claims. I've heard finally there was an adult in the room as well. Bro, what is anyone talking about? People seem to be inventing this fantasy in their heads. Oh, the stock went up a lot, therefore Elon must have did a good job on the earnings call this time. What was different? Nothing. Musk shares his opening comments about the quarter, the challenges, the obstacles and their accomplishments, growth in certain sectors and so on, remains on the call, directly answers some questions, refuses to answer other questions, e.g. we're not going to say any more on that. I mean, every fucking earnings call, it's the same thing. A classic performance? No. Tesla stonk surged after hours. Therefore, Elon good. This is fucking so ridiculous, guys. I mean, you understand how stupid this is? It's the same fucking shit as every earnings call in terms of Musk performance. And by the way, we were hearing that Elon bad needed to hold investors' hands and give them really clear targets about growth and margins. None of that. Zero. No clarity, right? The best we got with an interim vehicle, Tesla looking to get to 3 million units of capacity, but they didn't say when. There was no talk about automotive margins. Nothing. All the things that people were claiming they needed from Elon bad for it to be a good call, the hand-holding, the spoon-feeding, there was none of that. But Tesla stonk up, therefore, Elon, good job, Elon. Great earnings call. Fuck me.
Kind of giving relief to those supporters out there that he's still in charge, still looking to the future, still has his hand on the wheel. Of course, as some of these analysts point out, there's still concerns about the core business, still concerns about where things are going. But if you are a true believer, if you are a fan of Tesla, if you are a fan of Elon Musk's vision for the future, there was a lot to be excited about.
What if he doesn't reach agreement over his big fat pay package with Tesla and he walks away? How much does that hurt Tesla?
Absolutely. And that was one of the questions top of mind for people yesterday. And he was asked about that. On one hand, he says, hey, listen, Tesla is on a path to creating driverless cars with or without him. The momentum is there. It might not happen as quickly without him, but he thinks it's going that direction. The bigger question, and the question that super fans have, is what can Tesla become beyond that? And he has laid a future that would have human robots called Optimus and other these kind of the future, the exciting future that he predicts. And he's saying without him, he's not so sure that Tesla can do that. And so really the last minute push, the last time he's really going to be able to talk to shareholders before they get a chance to reapprove his package that was struck down by a Delaware judge earlier this year, that mega huge financial package, essentially lobbying for that. And also a little bit of a suggestion that if Tesla is making a lot of free cash flow, that maybe there could be a buyback in the future as well. The goal of getting to 25% control of the company, he stated, is what he wants if he's going to stay to do the robots and the AI that he envisions.
Tim, it's interesting because the language that gets used around fans of Tesla is, and you just said, believers, right? There is this brand of Elon Musk, a cult of Elon Musk. I'm just curious, when we saw the report come out yesterday, there was this real disconnect between what was being reported and what the stock was doing. And then Elon Musk gets on and he lays out his vision for the future. But as Phil just pointed out, and Tony Saganagi pointed out, okay, he says there's lower priced models coming. What is it? Where's the specifics in that? Does it really matter what he says, where the specifics are, as long as he's there and guiding the ship?
Yeah, you bring up this interesting question. In a lot of ways, these calls seem to rely a lot about his tone and the fact that if he sounds happy or sad. I mean, not to be reductionist here, but if he's not optimistic about the future, in the past we've seen shareholders get nervous. He came sounding optimistic, and I think we're seeing that in the results today.
But do all those investors then, are they just relying on the mercurial nature of Elon Musk?
Those folks are not investors. The DMFs. Now, I just want to emphasize something that's kind of important, right? Tesla stock again surges more than 12% after hours, closes up more than 12% the day following earnings. The only material information that investors got, margins slightly better than Wall Street consensus, but irrelevant, was this interim vehicle product that's going to be more affordable prior to the next-gen vehicle, and Tesla explicitly describing 3 million vehicles of capacity without having to build new lines for a $25,000 vehicle. Now, remember, Tesla has a publicly stated goal that remains unchanged. Now, the goal doesn't mean they'll get there, but they are aiming for 20 million vehicles sold in 2030. That didn't change. And I hate to have to point this out, but last year, Tesla, let's call it not even 2 million vehicles sold. So they need to 10x the number of vehicles they're selling per year by the end of the decade. They already told us they're aiming for 20 million vehicles. That hasn't changed. So Tesla's going to do whatever is necessary for them to have their best shot at achieving that goal of 20 million vehicles sold in 2030. Right? The only thing happened that Tesla spoon-fed everybody one of the steps along that journey to 20 million vehicles sold per year. And suddenly, Tesla, buy Tesla stock. Look, idiots. Tesla's still aiming for 20 million vehicles in 2030, right? Okay? Doesn't matter whether you think Elon sounds upbeat or downbeat or sleep-deprived on the earnings call or not. That's got nothing to do with anything. And if people are trying to read into these tea leaves, Elon didn't sound very upbeat on this earnings call. It must be a disaster. Tesla stopped aiming for 20 million vehicles. They've changed their mind, but they haven't told us yet. These folks, if they think they're investors, they are fooling themselves. Again, I really firmly believe that all of this discussion about Tesla and the earnings call, and the only reason that people seem to be under the impression that it was a great call, good job from Elon, he sounded upbeat and so on, was literally because the stock surged. Oh, shit.
For some, absolutely. One of the things, though, I think is helping today is the suggestion that this is just not robot taxis in a future that maybe is years away, that is, as some experts predict, that there is some pull forward of some sort of product that can continue to fund the interim before the next thing, right? This idea of a lower price vehicle. The details are scant. Is it really just a tweak to the Model Y? Is it a new product altogether? We don't know. And that's some of the challenge of being an investor in Tesla, is that this is really kind of a muddled kind of interim vision that has been laid out.
I want to wrap this one up with an extremely relevant quote from Musk on Tesla's earnings call yesterday, which, funnily enough, I have a feeling if Tesla stock was down 12% as opposed to up following the call would have been cited as a disaster, even if the exact same words had been spoken. Check this out. Quote, "If someone does not believe Tesla will solve autonomy, they should not be an investor in the company. But we will, and we are." As in, we will solve autonomy, and we are solving autonomy. Now, this is so fucking on point, it's unbelievable. Seriously. If you don't think Tesla's going to solve autonomy, what the fuck are you doing owning this stock? It doesn't make any sense. Seriously. I can all but guarantee people who own Tesla, who don't think they're going to solve autonomy, have not built their own valuation model. Because if they did, they'd look at the numbers and go, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Now, let me explain something. Musk means this, and I mean this. So let's relate that back to what happened to Tesla stock. Tesla stock surges more than 12% yesterday. Did Tesla provide any material information about autonomy? No, they did not. Did Tesla provide material information about cars? Yes. Tesla stock surges 12%. So let me get this straight. It appears as though information pertaining to Tesla's automotive business, not autonomy, was enough to lure in a huge number of investors into the stock. And the stock surges once again more than 12% after hours, closing more than 12% today. How curious. Now, the material information regarding autonomy was a demonstration of FSD V12. Remember when Musk was driving around Palo Alto? Hey, where's Zuck? Ahead of their potential MMA fight. And I nutted all over the place and wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Remember that? And that was material information, if only you understood. And if you're a regular viewer, you'll have heard me. I explained everything in great fucking detail, so I'm not going to rehash it. However, in short, on Tesla's earnings call yesterday, Musk emphasized the fact that he strongly recommends that anyone thinking about Tesla stock, e.g. they own it, they don't own it, they're thinking about shorting, whatever, should really drive FSD 12.3. He went on to say that it's impossible to understand the company if you do not do this. Reposting this and adding my own thoughts. I said, there is a reason I will not shut the fuck up about autonomy, and why I went berserk after the V12 demo, the one I just referred to, and have not shut up since. And if you can't sit in a Tesla and experience FSD 12.3, the next best thing is to watch and analyze hours, and I mean literal hours of video of people using FSD 12.3. For what it's worth, Musk liked this post, possibly suggesting that maybe there's a grain of truth in what I have said. Yet despite the fact that I will not shut the fuck up about V12, end-to-end video, no heuristics, you've heard the whole spiel, tumbleweeds on Wall Street, made no impact on Tesla stock, still has made no impact on Tesla stock. This is an incredible illustration of how misunderstood Tesla is. We talk about cars yesterday, stonk surges. Yet we're seeing what V12's doing. We understand Tesla themselves have explained. There's no heuristics. It's trained end-to-end on examples of good human drivers. You can see videos everywhere. Intervention-free drives, especially in San Francisco. Tumbleweeds. Ponderous, isn't it? And if you're still here, don't forget, if you would like to see the massive update to my Tesla valuation model, check out the link in the pinned comment, join Patreon at the investor level and above. Or better yet, make your own valuation model. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.